Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers, and happy new year to you once again. So I've made loads of videos today. This is January the 1st 2023, and we 2023 January the 1st 2024, and we're looking at this Hiya Toys King Ghidorah from Godzilla King of the Monsters. This is a rather large box, bigger than I would like, but this toy does look good. Now, this is not a scale I collect, but it should work with my 1/18 scale quite well, and some of the smaller scale stuff I've got. Bigger scale stuff, maybe too, perhaps. We will see. Does look rather cool. Very big wingspan, 2 supports of the wings, which is kind of disappointing. I like to have my toys without supporting, but that's going to be heavy. You can imagine why they're there. Nothing much on the side, just to name this side, name the other side. On the back, we have pictures again. You can see it's got some decent articulation in the neck, how it's posed there. I like the way they've got it down there. Oh, I got some articulation there too. I wonder if those wings are soft material, because it seems to be folding underneath. Very interesting. I am looking forward to this. Okay, I'm going to unbox to set it up. I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. Okay, here it is, sort of in shot. I can't zoom out much more on that, or more on that. The tail sections were so hard to put in. Had to do, it says use hot water, which I did, but hot water, patience, and some strength is needed for that. But everything is in place now. I have to say, it does look fantastic. It's a bit fiddly. I understand why they did some things the way they didn't, but I'm sure there's maybe a better way they could have been done. So let's get a close look. I'll move this back slightly. So we've got the 3 heads there. It's standing up without the support, so not even assembled yet. The wings are very nice. Get from the back. Kind of spiky, a bit painful to hold in certain positions perhaps. You can see from the back there, very beautiful work on the colouring, on the wings, the arms, the tail sections. Very cool. Now, the tail sections have some articulation, but this articulation doesn't articulate enough. It needs to come up more. As it is, it pushes down slightly, which makes him want to lean forwards, and that plus the weight of the wings makes him far more easy to fall over. But he does look good. Okay, and let's turn him around. Let's get a look at these lovely heads. If we can, I'll probably go move the camera a bit closer for that. So the patterning on the wings and everything on it, just a fantastic looking toy. Just so big as the, I guess is what you want. There's also the problem with this. Okay, so articulation. Heads down, so the heads are all articulated slightly. The jaws are articulated, we can see. The necks are articulated. They can move different ways, but you might have a bit of a struggle to articulate them in some position. It feels like there's a wire inside as well as a joint system. This is what it feels like. Still, it feels like it wants to fall over. The wings. Now, what's funny or nice with the wings, if I move this up slightly, you can separate this section, and this section, and this section. You can see it's separated already. And so you can get different articulations setups from them. So you've got 2 joints on the actual wings at the base there. So one for the top part, and that's got a shoulder joint that we can see as well. And that can also turn for going down and sort of keeping myself in position, which I think I'll do now, so it'll be slightly easier to balance them. Move that one out of the way. There we go. You can do that sort of classic pterodactyl wings down part, and have his wings here or down again. So that shoulder joint has a, where is it? There we go. Can turn. This one has a almost like a flap where we can bring down and up, as does this one. There's no turn on the part and shoulder. That is fixed. So this one is only the finding where it moves and moving it. There's no part there that moves. The individual parts here, quite hard to show this being so big. The individual parts here, you can just pull out It's just a groove that fits in. Now it's separated, and I can articulate that separately if I want, but it looks better if it was plugged in. Now, I think this would be better if it was the wings that plugged in separately, maybe. But then you have to plug both sets of wings in, as opposed to the tails, because then you could have a much smaller box and it wouldn't take up so much space. Going down to the legs, hips move a little bit, the knees, there is some movement in knees. Lower knee, there's a little bit, which is also the ankle. There's a tiny bit as well. Quite stiff there, but that's what you want being so heavy. The tails have small articulation, but you see it doesn't really hold unless you want to try and force and bend it into place. But I'm scared of them popping out the backings. That was so hard to put in the first time around. So I feel like I'm sort of short-changing on articulation a little bit. It's quite hard to articulate. But this is not the sort of toy that's a toy. It's a pose and display toy. In terms of height, like this, so not the wings up, to the top of the head, I've done it at the moment, is 25.5 cm. And the width from widest point to widest point currently is 64 cm, so it is large. Not easy to display unless you've got a big shelf space for it, or Godzilla dedicated space, but it is really quite cool. This is difficult to do comparisons. I've got nothing of this scale or this line to compare with. But you're a 1/18 scale, man, compare with 1/18 scale. Who said that? Such a bright idea. And do you know what's going to happen if we're going to compare 1/18 scale? And this is like a fancy looking beast. That's right. Sigurd the Survivor is going to have another encounter. So hard to pose it nicely with the tails and the wings and everything. So stay there. So Sigurd the Survivor. This is a 1/18 scale boss. Let me move my pliers out the way. Pliers out the way. And there he decides to fall down. There's nothing there on the ground to eat, I'm afraid. Need some stiffer sort of ratchet ankle joints. He's going to fall over again, I'm sure. 3, 2, what? There we go. All right, let me just try and pose this slightly better. See if that will do it. If I put those ones down, can those ones go down? Not enough. All right, let's try again. I'll put the wings backwards one. Hopefully that will offset some of that forwards weight. Let's try. I'll do it from front, so anyway I'm going to get to stands. Only sort of toes there. Okay, so strange sort of stance, but I'm going to see how Sigurd, a 1/18 scale, is going to compare. It will work great with your 1/18 scale. The only thing that's against it for 1/18 scale is the heads are actually quite small. And it's like, yeah, it's dangerous, it's a beast, but those heads are like not that big compared to my head. But other than that, it does look fantastic, really. If you've got smaller scale figures, that's going to sort of terrorize them. Very nice looking monster. Very tricky, difficult to display. You know, if you've got fantasy, it might be a little bit difficult to fit into your collection because it's a bit unusual, and again, displaying, and the size is not with your 1/18 or 1/12 or whatever. It's more for a smaller scale, obviously, but it does look nice. Okay, so Awesome Toys signing out, and please like, share, subscribe, check out our Patreon. I'll see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting, and once again, Happy New Year.